I want to get one of those dogs, she said earnestly, for the apartment. They're a nice thing to have, a dog. We backed up to an old gray man who bore an absurd resemblance to John D. Rockefeller, and in a basket slung from his neck was a basket of very recent puppies of an indeterminate breed. "What kind are they?" asked Miss Wilson eagerly as the man approached the taxi window. "All kinds," said the man. "What kind do you want, lady?" "I'd like to get one of those police dogs," she said. "I don't suppose you got that kind." The man peered doubtfully into his basket, plunged in a hand, and drew one up, wriggling by the back of the neck. "That's no police dog," said Tom. "No," said the man with disappointment in his voice. "It's not a police dog exactly. It's more of an Airedale." "I think it's cute," said Mrs. Wilson enthusiastically. "How much is it?" That dog will cost you $10. Look at that coat. Some coat. That's a dog that'll never bother you with catching a cold." He ran a hand over the brown wash rag of a back. The dog changed hands and settled down into Mrs. Wilson's lap, where she fondled the weatherproof coat with rapture. "Here's your money," said Tom. The Airedale, evidently there was some Airedale mixed up in there somewhere, though its paws were shockingly white, changed hands and settled down into Mrs. Wilson's lap, where she fondled the weatherproof coat with rapture. "There's your money," said Tom. "Is it a boy or a girl?" asked Miss Wilson. "That dog," said the man, "that's a boy." "It's a bitch," said Tom. "Here's your money. Go and buy 10 more dogs with it." We drove over to Fifth Avenue, warm and soft, almost pastoral on a summer Sunday afternoon. I wouldn't have been surprised to see a great flock of white sheep turn around the corner. "I've got to leave you here," I said. "Hold on," I said. "I've got to leave you here." "No, you don't," said Tom. Interjected Tom. "Besides, Myrtle will be hurt if you don't come up to the apartment." "Come on," said Miss Wilson. "I'll telephone my sister. She's said to be quite beautiful by people who ought to know." We drove back over the West Hundreds towards 158th Street. We drove back over the park towards the West Hundreds over 158th Street and stopped at one slice in a long white cake of apartment houses. Mrs. Wilson threw a regal homecoming glance around the neighborhood, gathered up the dog and her other purchases, and went haughtily in.